So welcome. We're coming to you live from the home of tone here in Petaluma, California. Quinten's a Fillmore owner, I come to hear. And, and he has two 50s, two Fillmore 50 combos and a Fillmore 100 combo. And I believe you're adding another 100 combo to the mix.
Absolutely.
To run stereo there too.
Absolutely.
And basically we've kind of shared with him the Fillmore 25, which is our kind of little brother favorite in the family. And we've been just having a great time exploring it. So we thought we'd turn on the cameras and share that with you also, and just kind of run through the Fillmore with the 6v6s in it and just kind of share that. So why don't we start with the clean channel and kind of explore what that does, because with the 6v6s, that lower power and particularly those tubes and their character give you kind of a really broad palette for just one mode of one channel. So we're gonna start there and just goof around and basically see what we come up with.
Let's do it. It's so bouncy, man. It's just got the feel. It's just like whatever you're doing, it responds. No matter, yes.
Yeah, no, we did pay real special attention, like I said, to the feel and of the Fillmore family. While I like all of them, and I guess you do too, obviously being an owner of them, I think this one has a real unique and special feel. It's just a really friendly feel on the strings and bubbly, like you said, bouncy.
Yeah, that's all that chime, but it still has body to it.
Yeah.
It's not boxy, it's got a lot of body. I mean, even this little guy, the 25, can fill up the room and sound amazing.
Yeah, I love the way that the bottom end in the Fillmore 25 with the 6v6s, it just sits in a different place. And, it might not quite have the low, deeper depth of the L6s, but it's so bubbly and it just sits like in this perfect spot in the low end that it just feels so fun. It's my favorite one to practice through.
Yeah.
And just work on stuff, and so.
Oh, definitely, man. Like practicing or any kind of gig, if you're a church musician, you've got a Sunday morning gig where they might not want to have like a lot of volume on stage. That's your guy. If you're playing smaller rooms, that's your guy. Or if you're recording in a studio, I mean, those guys, Billy Gibbons and Jeff Beck and Clapton, what were they playing through, right? And that's these guys right here, and that's a lot of tone coming from some low power.
So let's now that we've heard some of the lower gain settings, let's start pushing it a little bit in that same mode. That we're all in the clean channel of the second mode. These two channels are identical, like all the Fillmores. So I'm just using the one closest to me. So we're still in the clean mode only. We're not clicking in any overdrive yet. So this is all just the clean mode and the power section. So let's explore that a little bit. There I just added a little bit of dirt with the mid control, and then turn the presence down to make it a little less edgy, kind of make it feel sweeter and all, more voice-like. And then from there, you could crank it all the way up. I'd probably turn the mids down when I do that, and the bass down a little bit when I do that. So check that out. push that sound into the tweed side of this amp, you know, the fact that it is tweed architecture. Let's turn it up, just see what the power section does a little bit, you know, just.
Yeah.
So you can hear it start to bloom out so big, you know,
Yeah.
it'll go beyond that, but that gives you an idea of the bloom that the 6v6s can bring in once the volume gets to a certain point. It doesn't have to, it's not real loud in this room,
No.
but it starts to fill in, you know?
Yeah.
So it's an incredibly big sounding amp for its physical size, and that's, we love that about it. So,
And you know, I'm that typical guitar player too, where you think about something and you think, you know, you hear with your eyes,
Yeah.
right? Think, oh, you know, hey, we're making a 25 watt too. It's like, oh, that's cute, cool, nice, you know.
Yeah.
And then I plug into it and go, oh my gosh.
it's just way bigger
And it's-
sounding than you would think, yeah.
Yeah, and it's totally different from everything else. And it's like, well, there's that magic.
Yep, it's
You
just
know?
a different flavor of the same
Yeah.
thing. So then we'll just quickly go back to where we were. Let's see, I think I have this. That's about where we're. Just add the low end back in so it fills up.
You can do Wes Montgomery stuff on it,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
was just about to say, you reminded me that this amp is probably one of the funnest amps for like big box and jazz guitar stuff, you know, because
Yeah.
it's just so sweet and angelic when you know, sometimes with bigger body guitars and humbucking pickups, you have to run the input a little lower than you would with a Strat, say, but it does have that character and that flavor and the air that goes around the notes. It's just so beautiful, you know. So let's jump to the middle sound, which is the drive mode. Let's flip over to that and let's start at the low side and just explore some of the sounds that you almost call them semi-clean or just barely overdriven, but it's a real neat sound, and it also contains a lot of the dynamics that the clean mode does. So you still have that real snap and the urgency and the speed, but you have a little bit of dirt you can play with, you know, overdrive.
Yeah. That classic sound.
Classic chording sound, man. That's really cool. So yeah, it's really great for all that. It's also good for soloing as you get it higher, you know, maybe roll some of the top end out so it's a little more vocal or whatever. Let's check that out. And then you go up here, and it gets fully gained out, and then we can put in, I don't know how you like to ever set it. I would guess it's something like this with that guitar. Yeah, so hey, as long as we're there in the drive mode, let's take a look at the reverb, because we put a lot of work into that too, trying to capture the old school, really twangy reverb. So I'll crank the reverb up here. This is probably to about 11:30. Let's see if... Classic spaghetti western stuff.
It makes you want to do that.
Let's jump to the high mode now. I know this is one of your favorites, so might you guide me as to where you like it?
On the 50s and everything, I'm running kind of about maybe 1 o'clock.
If you just tell me clock settings, I'll get them.
Yeah, and that's right about right. Mids, I usually run probably about 10.
Okay.
And then bass is right, and presence is right. And so somewhere about there,
Okay, cool.
usually.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that, you've got that nice, really smooth overdrive.
Vocal thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And do you use the out of phase a lot with that, or like the quacky sound, or do you tend to ride the full strength single?
Yeah, I go all over.
All over, okay. Cool.
Yeah, so
cool.
on this one, like I'll have like the bridge, but the
You back
tone.
it off a little bit.
Yeah, so more like, that kind of like stone just kind of thing.
Do that again one more time.
And the way that cleans up too, you don't lose anything off of that. Like you can be wide open.
clarity in the dynamics.
Yeah. The wide range, just a guitar and an amp and a volume knob.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought about that? You know?
Right.
Somebody did, I'm sure.
Yeah, all the way back, man. That's very cool. So that's pretty much it for the Fillmore 25, other than the years of exploring and finding amazing tones, which it sounds like you're about to do.
Man, so, years and years of tones with all these guys. Yeah.
Thank you, Quinten. So, just thanks a lot for coming out to the Home of Tone and sharing all your great music and your stories. And you're just an incredible person, and we really appreciate knowing you. And it's just been a lot of fun having you here. So thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Back at all you guys, too, man.
Have
Couldn't do it without y'all.
Take care.